We're looking at fabulous fifth chapter, the book behind me, my new book by Judson Press, and I am so excited and delighted and ignited to see you. So I'm going to start with Vera Moore. She's been a friend and an entrepreneur for all the decades of my life. I want to tell you the chapter that means you're 50 plus. First chapter means you're born and everything is done for you. They change your diapers. They teach you what it is to, when you're wet, you cry. Chapter 2 is your toddler years. Chapter 3, your teenage years. We all have been there. You get the rules, you break the rules. Chapter 4 means you're a young adult or becoming a full adult, and you start making, you make your life moves. Yes, you make some mistakes, but you're also aiming for something. You try to have a lane that you stay in, or a couple of lanes. But chapter 5, oh, it begins with the AARP card. All of us know that. But any number after 50 means you're in chapter 5. So welcome to your fifth chapter. Vera Moore, I've known you, I think, since chapter 2 or 3. Yeah, tell us what's your fifth chapter.
Well, right now, the fifth chapter, I'm learning to say no, that's for sure. But most importantly, right now, I have my health. I've always stepped out of the box, but I'm just sort of making my own box, so to speak, creating my own box. But I know time is of the essence. So can I segue into what I'm doing after 50 years?
Yeah, please.
Well, I'm in a film.
Please.
My God, I'm in a film called Tried by Fire. And I just met, thank you so much, Karen. I love you. Look, Susan, come on. And, I met someone that I hadn't seen in 50 years. We performed on Broadway together, Melba Moore. The title was with Melba Moore. She's now in this also film Tried by Fire. And I was in the chorus and I did some background singing. And here we met each other about 3 weeks ago. So it's just, it's crazy. It's just wonderful. So I just thank God for it. I'm excited. I'm happy. I got through the pandemic, even though I didn't close them. Walgreens closed them. 60 stores, which was devastating. But I stopped leaning forward, and my faith kept me going, and I pivoted. And I have a small spa. So this is a good time of my life. I'm enjoying my grandson. I'm enjoying my life. I know how to say no without feeling guilty. I'm terrific.
I'm loving it. You were the first Black on soap opera. Weren't you the nurse on one of our shows?
Yeah, I was the first Black actress.
Wow.
Contracted by national television, NBC, Channel 4. I played Linda Metcalf, and I was on national television for 10 years. And I did Broadway, and then I also integrated Green Acres Mall, first Black film in the history of Green Acres Mall. That's another story. That's another chapter. Very, very difficult. But
we want to talk about the film, but we have the privilege of having the filmmaker, the one who's writing the film on the show. And I'm wearing the kente because I have a little bit part in the show, which is a major part. I am Mayor Cook, and we want to invite Karen Wilson Broadway, who has written this amazing film, Tried by Fire. Tell us what inspired you to write this film and why now, Karen?
I love writing. I've done a lot of theater. At this time, I wanted to do a film. It was just on my heart to do film with everything that was going on in the world, with the pandemic, with a lot of the racial upheaval, and with things that were going on in the faith-based community. And I wanted to talk about and bring to life real life challenges and real life experiences. A lot of times things are covered up in this faith-based community. We don't address some of the mental health issues. Sometimes we don't want to talk about, the race issues. But I wanted to bring these things to light. I wanted to have to do a film that was inspirational, encouraging at the same time, inspirational, but at the same time brought a lot of things to light that we're going through. And so that's what encouraged me to write. And my mom always said I was a drama queen. And so I had to put those skills to work. I've been acting and I just wanted to start writing. I've been writing since I was, in the 5th grade, just writing stories on top of stories. And I believe this story speaks to so many people, just not the Black community, but the world, about things that we have to deal with, things that we have to address.
Monique Fortuné, in your 5th chapter, you just finished Union Theological Seminary.
It's an absolute blessing because now being in ministry and being 60, there's a confidence And there is a trust in God like never before. There's no second guessing. There's no, oh, maybe if, because as you know, Sujay, we go back way, way, way. And, I've done
Yeah.
poetry, writing, I've been in arts, I've been in media, I've done a lot of work in higher education, particularly in student affairs. But when I went to Union, what came together, the piece that came together was my academic side and my artistic side. And my focus was psychology and religion. And I am now going to really continue to expand my business, Fortune and Associates, including pastoral and spiritual care. So I can bring everything, all of who I am, because I have experience, I have confidence, and most importantly, I have the creator guiding and leading. There's trust now. There's real love and awareness of who I am and why I'm on the planet.
We needed you going into the pandemic, but we certainly need you coming out of the pandemic for all of our mental health needs. And so thank you for being there. Our mothers, the mother-daughter teams that joined the New York Coalition of 100 Black Women. It was mother-daughters,
Yes.
and look at us now. We're up there, and so it's so good to see you. Well, speaking of writing and creativity, Teresa Harrison, you have a new book that just came out that we're going to be using for our Global Black Women's Chamber. Tell us the book and tell us what you were thinking and what else happened for you in your 5th chapter. Teresa Harrison.
In my 5th chapter, there hasn't been a dull moment. I am a cancer survivor, a recent cancer survivor. I won. The devil thought he won, but he didn't. And I'm so excited about that. But, I was able to continue with my company. I have a cybersecurity company. I'm one of the few African American women who own a cybersecurity company whose customers are CIA, NSA, the White House, etc. And the difference between my company and many others is I create legacies. I allow employees who want to launch their own business to do so, and I help mentor them. So in my new chapter, my biggest focus is continuing to work and help our young people create legacies. My book is called Yes, You Are Able. On my bio for 20 years, I had soon to be author, and it's all relative. During my cancer journey, God gave me the clarity of what to write about. And what I write about is an ordinary person can also be extraordinary, and to take that step and create your extraordinary self. So it's done real well. It's a bestseller. I'm creating workshops from it. A couple of companies have asked me to come in and lead workshops. That's because there are more of us who were not born with a golden spoon or silver spoon or whatever that is, but God has already given us and instilled in us what we need to show how extraordinary we can be. So yes, you are able. That's my book. Thank you.
So we both endorsed each other's books, but I must tell you, it's a must read. Shift over to Lillian Davenport because you are a businesswoman extraordinaire. We took a class together under Deb Bollinger about how to do online courses. Tell us what your course is and a little history of how you got to the course.
Well, that is an
Lillian,
interesting route. So I am thriving in my 50s, and how I got to the course is after 30 years in big corporations, financial services industry, in the global insurance industry. And I say looking under the hood, behind the curtain, seeing the good, the bad, the ugly, harvesting all of that. So now I can pour into the generations behind me so that they don't have to have tissue on their feet or lipstick on their teeth without anyone telling them. So mine is all about trying to get ahead and be able to help our generations really be the leaders at the level that they envision. So to that point, this year I stepped out in my thriving and ran a first course where I was blessed to have 9 fabulous women join me along that journey. The end feedback and the end result is I wish I had known this a while back, but it's never too late to course correct. So that's what I'm doing. And it's open doors to actually work with organizations. So I'm launching a new course with an organization that has 12 fabulous women that would be a part of it, starting very soon.
Well, I got to be part of that masterclass, and it is fabulous.
I've been working
Yes.
in the intelligence community for over 25 years, and if you follow it, you would know that in reality, we were doing cybersecurity years ago. It just didn't have the term. One of the differences is that I, back then, over 20 years ago, started bringing other young African American professionals along because I knew this need would only increase. And that's exactly what it is. I'm a technologist at heart, so I follow technology. And given that, I have been fortunate enough to be in the forefront. The unfortunate part is that not many of us have had the opportunity to be in the forefront. And that it will be here for many, many years. So the goal is to bring many more.
But what I see you doing is with your daughters and others, creating legacy and mentoring them. So tell us about what your business plan is, what you do as an entrepreneur, Vera Moore.
Well, we do believe in legacy. Consul, she's my right arm, and she has the spirit of entrepreneurship. It's about economics. And she started with me right after she graduated from Howard University when we integrated Green Acres Mall, the first Black tenant in the history of Green Acres Mall. We have 50-year history. I was in there for 25 years. And she came right in between while in the summertime, and it came, and she realized the importance of wealth building. She understands what legacy is. She understands what mentoring is, and sponsorship, and sharing, and breaking barriers, because it was extremely difficult. So she feels right at home, and I'm just blessed to have my daughter as my right hand, and she's happy. So I'm really excited about it. And we pivot into a spa now. And after Howard University, she went to Christine Valmet to become a licensed esthetician, which she's been for over 15 years. I'm just blessed.
And so let's talk about support. Vera does mother-daughter. Teresa does mother-daughter and other young people. Karen, you do sisters working together. How important is it to have your family on the set with you in your creative role? Karen, Wilson Broadway.
Yes, it is very important. My mother raised us where that was her desire. You stick together, she made us, just work together. And it's very important because, that's the way we were raised. And there's such a connection. There's, and I'm blessed because a lot of people don't like to work with their sisters or their brothers. But I thank God that I have a sister that we're very different, but in some areas we're very alike. And it's important because I think that there's a love connection there. There's a chemistry there because you know each other. And I must say my sister just pushes me to 110 and vice versa. We're there for one another. And there's a camaraderie. There's a camaraderie there when you have your sister and brother there. And I love it. I love it. It's like we're a team.
Well, it's great to see. So Lillian and Monique, who is your support system?
I got to tell you that I'm looking at it right now. There's always a growing and an opportunity to connect with kindred. Even though I've known Sujay all of my life practically, I look at what I call my Cape girls, young ladies I've known since I was a teenager. And we get together on Saturdays at 9 a.m. and we update each other and we get involved. And I know Sujay loves her repetition, the 3 C's. We get into conversation, comfort, and connection. That's what we do. And I also am grateful for the church family. There have been wonderful people at Middle Collegiate Church I've been able to connect to. Of course, my family at Union Theological Seminary, but recognizing kindred on this journey. And I could also say I have a global community. One thing that the pandemic has helped me do is make sure that I connect to the international family, people who are in Haiti, people who are in South Africa. So it's important to make sure that you have that circle around you. And it's so critical.
I love it. So that's another C. Well, speaking of that C, that's a good segue to Lillian because we share a C with the Chamber of Commerce. So my question was, who is your support system and how important is for the Chamber of Commerce, which is also international?
Well, my support system starts with another C, and that's my concentric circle. And it's starting with my husband and my son, who really help me to excel and be the most that I can. Then it goes out a little bit further to my sisters, my blood sisters. And then I have some sisters that actually will propel me forward. And then my professional network, always encouraging me to be the very best, trying to determine where they can help me to fill in the gaps. And then I will say that for me, the hidden gem this year has been the Global Black Women's Chamber of Commerce. And it has helped in various ways. One is just I would never have had the opportunity to meet each of you had it not been for the chamber for this. And then the other is just basically the exposure, being able to serve, because I think that is equally important for professional and continued development, as just being able to serve my other sisters who are in the chamber. So all of that comes together with opportunity and the ability to be able to apply and be able to serve and help others. My circle just expands. I'm one of those deep circles, deep, not necessarily wide, but deep is there.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sujay, but you can call me Dr. Fabulous. And I am so excited. My new book, My Fabulous Fifth Chapter, It's My Turn Now, has come out. You can get it on judsonpress.com or amazon.com. My Fabulous Fifth Chapter. Are you a woman over 50? Are you ministering to women over 50? Do you have someone in your life who's a woman over 50 who wants to be fine, fit, fabulous, have her faith intact, her family intact, and just have some plain old fun? Well, this is the book. It's holiday time. My Fabulous Fifth Chapter. Get yours now.
And welcome back to My Fabulous Fifth Chapter, Fabulous Friday. You are talking with Monique Fortuné, Karen Broadway Wills, Vera Moore, Lillian Davenport, and me. I'm Dr. Fabulous. So happy to have you with us, and Teresa Harrison as well. So let me just ask a question, because two of the things that connect us are having fun together, but also faith. How important is it to have fun, and what do you do for fun? Let me start with Monique, and we're going to do these like popcorn. Monique, what do you do for fun?
What I do for fun is I dance, and I definitely love writing, poetry particularly, and going to the theater again. And always spiritual ritual every morning. That's important to me.
So we're from the Boogie Down Bronx, and so if you can't dance, you can't be from the Bronx. So we share that together. Karen, what do you do for fun?
I'm a Broadway girl, theater, music, and I love sports.
What's your favorite sport?
I'm basketball. I'm a basketball girl. I play basketball with my husband.
Wow, I love it. That was my team. So we went to see Tina Turner in terms of shows the other night, and I said if she can move her legs at 80, I certainly can move mine at 60. Lord. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Vera Moore, what do you do for fun?
Oh, Lord, the friends, family, music, and just sometimes just doing nothing can be fun for me because I'm always so busy. And as far as my faith, I've learned totally now to surrender.
Oh.
Totally surrender. I trust. Look, I believe the word. And he says, lean not on and saying, I'm serious now. I have totally surrendered. I'm not knocking myself out. And that's the spirit I have now.
I love it. And if you want to be in touch with Vera Moore, you can get her at V Moore with an E on the end at VeraMooreCosmetics.com. She'd love to hear from you. V Moore, Moore at VeraMooreCosmetics.com. Let me ask you, Lillian, what do you do for fun?
Well, music, walks, singing, because I am a Southerner. And I think the most important thing and fun thing is being with my two grandbabies, my two grandsons. That is a lot of fun.
I love it. Well, I have two sons that I can send to you if you want to have two more in your house. We love it. But that is so good. And Teresa Harrison, are you able to be with us? What do you do for fun? All right, I think we're going to have to come back. Teresa, what do you do for fun?
I love sports. So we watch a lot of sports and travel around for fun.
And you're in Baltimore, so do you watch the Baltimore Ravens?
Absolutely. Season ticket holders wouldn't miss them.
I love it, and I think one of your daughters was a cheerleader at Hampton, correct? So you've been in sports for a while. So let's talk about faith. Monique, you now are a new minister. You've worked at Middle Collegiate. You were at Riverside. What's the most important thing for you about faith at this stage of your life?
The most important thing, I always think of the Hebrew word Emmanuel. God is with us through it all. That's
Mm.
something that's so important to me. And now that's something that I want to convey to other people, to know that they have individual power to call upon that power, which is the greatest of all.
I love it. And Karen, what's important to you about faith? Your movie has church scenes in it. What's important for you about faith?
That there's a scripture that says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, His righteousness; all these other things shall be added unto you." Is putting God first, not throwing Him in the middle, not throwing Him in the end, or put Him in before everything that we do. And then we put Him in before and in everything that we do. I know it's going to be all right.
I love it. And Lillian, what about you in faith? I mean, we begin our meetings with prayer, close them with prayer. What's important to you about faith?
Proverbs 3:3, that's trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not to thy own understanding,
Yeah.
but acknowledge him in all of my ways. And that is so important for me as I am thriving in this 5th chapter.
Oh, I'm loving it. And as we wrap up this show is going to be shown during Thanksgiving week. So I'm going to ask each of you, what are you most thankful for? And I want to make sure that our audience knows that we're thankful for you. You can subscribe, you can comment. We're on YouTube and other platforms. We want you to subscribe on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, and share it because we want you to know that you're absolutely fabulous. So I'm just going to go down the aisle. I'm going to ask you, what are you most thankful for? Vera.
I've learned now that to trust in God, and He'll make a way for you. If you really believe and trust in Him and lean on Him, not lean to your own understanding, like you said, He'll open the door. And I've learned that. So I keep my joy. Only joy comes from God, and no man can take your joy because He didn't give it to you. So that's where I am now.
Wow, and I feel that every time I'm in your presence, it doesn't matter when or where, that I feel that joy. Monique, what are you most thankful for?
Health, family, friends, and most importantly, faith.
I love it. Karen, what are you most thankful for?
I am thankful for the gift of love. Every day I sense God's love and His mercy, and I'm so grateful that He loves me and just give me the ability to love others. And I'm just grateful for the gift of love.
And we feel that from you. And Lillian, what are you most thankful for?
Do-overs. So life, health, strength, peace, and the opportunity to have do-overs because that 7 times 70 comes in handy.
I love it. And we're glad with technology, we're able to do some things over as well. But we want you to know that we're here for you. Fabulous 5th chapter. Want you to know that you're fabulous. And it does not matter what number comes after 5. It could be 6 and a 1. It could be 7 and a 2, 8 and a 4. You are fabulous. We want you to pray that the rest of your life may be the best and the most blessed of your life. So I'm Dr. Sujay, Dr. Fabulous. Hope that you get this book. It's holiday time. You can get it on DutsonPress.com or Amazon.com, but just get it. Thank all of you who endorsed the book. Thank all of you who've given me a shot at any time in life. You are absolutely amazing. Again, we want to thank Karen Broadway Wills, Lillian Davenport, Teresa Harrison, Monique Fortuné, and Vera Moore. God bless you until we meet again. Signing off, Dr. Fabulous.